Have you ever had one of those moments? A tiny shiver down your spine when you think of an old friend, and then the phone rings, and it's them? Or perhaps you're looking for a very specific book, and the next day, it practically falls into your lap at a dusty antique shop. These aren't just everyday happenings, are they? They feel different. They feel meaningful. As if the world itself is winking at you, whispering a secret you almost understand. We often shrug these moments off, calling them coincidence or luck. But what if they are more than that? What if these strange, perfect timings are not random at all, but rather tiny glimpses into a hidden order, a deeper dance that shapes our lives in ways we rarely see? What if, beneath the surface of our logical, predictable world, there's a shimmering tapestry woven with threads of meaning, connecting things that have no business being connected? This isn't just about chance, it's about a different kind of truth, a truth that Carl Jung, a brilliant thinker, spent his life trying to understand. He gave it a name that sounds as mysterious as the events themselves: synchronicity. It's a word that invites us to look beyond what makes sense, to ponder the whispers of a world far richer and stranger than we often imagine. This idea of synchronicity wasn't just a fleeting thought for Carl Jung. He was a very special kind of doctor, a deep thinker who lived a long time ago, from 1875 to 1961. He looked at people's minds, not just their bodies. While many doctors of his time focused only on what could be seen and measured, Jung dared to look deeper, into the soul itself. He saw that our minds held secrets, not just simple thoughts, but ancient patterns and deep feelings that shape who we are. Before we dive into his amazing ideas about synchronicity, it helps to remember how we usually understand the world. From the time we are small children, we are taught to think in a very clear way, logically. We learn that if you push a toy car, it moves. If you plant a seed and water it, a plant grows. Everything has a cause, and that cause leads to a clear effect. We build our understanding of the world on these simple, step-by-step connections. We expect things to make sense, to follow rules, to fit into a neat puzzle where every piece has its proper place. If something happens, we immediately look for the why. Why did the light turn on? Because someone flipped the switch. Why did the ball roll? Because someone kicked it. This way of thinking, called logic, helps us build bridges, solve math problems, and understand how machines work. It's a powerful tool, one that has helped us learn so much about the world around us. And for most of our lives, it feels like the only way to truly understand anything. It gives us comfort, a sense of control, and makes the world feel predictable. But what if there are moments when logic, our trusty guide, simply runs out of answers? What if some things are connected, not by cause and effect, but by something else entirely? This is exactly where Carl Jung's idea of synchronicity steps in, offering us a different lens to view those moments when logic falls silent. Imagine two separate things happening at the same time. Logically, they have no connection. One didn't cause the other. But to you, they feel deeply linked, full of a special meaning. That's the heart of synchronicity. Jung didn't call it magic or a miracle. He saw it as a meaningful coincidence, where an inner thought, feeling, or dream matches up with an outer event, without any logical chain of cause and effect. It's not that your thinking of a friend made them call. And it's not that the book knew you were looking for it. Instead, it's like these two separate events, one in your mind and one in the world, are dancing to the same secret tune at the exact same moment. They simply happen together, in a way that feels purposeful, like the universe is trying to send you a message. Think of it as a moment when the veil between your inner world and the outer world thins, and for a brief, startling instant, they mirror each other perfectly. It's a connection that logic can't explain, because there's no visible string pulling them together. Yet, the feeling of significance is undeniable. Jung believed these weren't just random flukes but important signposts, pointing to deeper truths about ourselves and the universe we live in. They are moments when the hidden patterns of life reveal themselves, if only we are open enough to see them. To truly grasp this idea, let's look at a famous story from Jung's own work. He had a patient, a young woman who was very stuck in her thoughts. She had a strong belief system that was hard to change, and even in therapy, she seemed unable to move forward. One day, she was telling Jung about a dream she had the night before. In her dream, someone gave her a golden scarab beetle, a precious jewel. As she was telling him this dream, there was a gentle tapping sound at Jung's window. It was unusual, a soft rhythmic knock. Jung, curious, got up and opened the window. To his utter surprise, a real beetle, a scarabaeid beetle, flew into the room. It wasn't just any beetle. It was a species with a beautiful gold-green shimmer, much like a piece of jewelry. Jung, quick to see the wonder of the moment, gently caught the beetle and held it out to his patient. "Here," he said, "is your scarab." For the woman, who had been so set in her ways, this real-life scarab was a jolt. It broke through her stubborn resistance, opening her mind to new possibilities. She could finally move forward in her therapy. This wasn't just a random beetle. Its arrival held a powerful, personal meaning for her, tied directly to her dream and her inner state. This story helps us see the key difference between a simple accident and a synchronous event. Imagine you spill your coffee. That's an accident. It might be messy, it might be annoying, but it probably doesn't carry a deeper message for your life's journey. Now, imagine you're feeling very sad about a problem, and you wish you could get a clear sign about what to do. Then, you open a book at random, and your eyes land on a sentence that perfectly speaks to your problem, offering unexpected wisdom. The book didn't logically know your feelings. Your feelings didn't logically make the book open to that page. But the meaning of that moment, the way it spoke directly to your inner need, is what makes it synchronous. The difference lies in that feeling of meaning. A random accident is just that, random. It might be good or bad, but it doesn't resonate with your inner world in a significant way. A synchronous event, however, strikes a chord deep within you. It feels purposeful, even profound, as if the universe is having a conversation with you, offering guidance or showing you something important about yourself or your path. It's the moment when the outer world seems to perfectly mirror an inner truth, creating a connection that feels more than just chance. But how can these meaningful connections happen? How can the universe speak to us in such personal ways? Jung believed there's a deeper answer, one that goes beyond our individual minds. He called it the collective unconscious. Imagine our individual minds as small islands, each with its own thoughts, memories, and dreams. But beneath the waves, deep down, all these islands are connected by a vast, invisible seafloor. This seafloor is the collective unconscious. It's like a secret library or a shared memory bank for all of humanity. It's not something we learn from books or teachers. It's something we are born with, passed down through generations. It holds the experiences, feelings, and images that have been common to all people, in all times and places. Think of the big themes in life: love, loss, birth, death, heroism, evil, wisdom. These aren't just ideas we invent. They are deep patterns that have always been part of the human story. The collective unconscious is a silent, powerful force, always there, beneath our everyday thoughts. It's a place where our individual minds touch something much bigger, something universal. When we tap into it, we connect with wisdom and understanding that feels ancient and true, far beyond what we've personally experienced. It's this shared, deep part of our minds that Jung believed plays a vital role in why synchronistic events occur. It's the stage where the inner and outer worlds can meet in such meaningful ways. Within this vast, shared ocean of the collective unconscious, Jung found something even more fascinating, what he called archetypes. Think of archetypes as ancient, fundamental patterns or blueprints for human experience. They are not specific ideas or memories, but rather inherited possibilities for certain types of images, feelings, and ways of being. Imagine them as universal characters or themes that appear in stories, myths, and dreams all over the world, even in cultures that have never met each other. You know the hero, who goes on a great journey? Or the wise old person who gives good advice? The trickster who likes to cause trouble? Or the nurturing mother who cares for everyone? These archetypes are not just old stories. They are living parts of our shared human soul. They are the deep currents that run through all of us, shaping how we see the world, how we behave, and what we long for. And here is where the magic truly begins. Jung believed that synchronous events are often messages from these very archetypes. Imagine an archetype, like the hero, is stirring within you. Perhaps you are facing a big challenge, or you feel a quiet call to be brave and start something new. Suddenly, you might encounter a series of meaningful coincidences. Maybe you randomly pick up a book about someone overcoming huge obstacles, or you hear a song on the radio about courage at just the right moment. Perhaps a stranger tells you a story that perfectly mirrors your inner struggle and how to find strength. These aren't just random events. They are signals. They are the archetypes, using the outer world to get your attention, to show you what's happening deep inside you, or to point you in a certain direction. It's like the universe is putting on a little play just for you, using symbols and events to communicate a profound message that your everyday logic might miss. The scarab beetle, for instance, in ancient Egypt, was a symbol of rebirth and transformation, a powerful archetypal image that perfectly matched the patient's need to break free and begin anew. Synchronicity, then, becomes a way for the timeless wisdom of the collective unconscious and its archetypes to speak directly to your personal journey, guiding you and helping you understand the deeper patterns at play. If synchronicity is the universe speaking to us through outer events, then our dreams are another powerful way the deep mind communicates from within. Jung believed that dreams are not just random pictures or leftover thoughts from the day. Instead, they are like special letters from our unconscious mind, full of symbols and stories, trying to tell us something important about ourselves, our lives, and our path. Think of your dreams as a secret language. Think of your dreams as a secret language, one that speaks in pictures and feelings rather than words. They often use symbols that are very old, connected to those archetypes we talked about earlier. A wise old person appearing in your dream, or a journey through a dark forest, are not just random images. They are echoes of ancient patterns, carrying deep meanings that your conscious mind might be missing. And it's not just in our dreams that these ancient patterns appear. If you look closely at the old myths, legends, and fairy tales from around the world, you'll find them filled with synchronistic events. These stories often tell of heroes who, at their moment of greatest need, receive a magical helper, or find a hidden path, or stumble upon a key object that changes everything. Logically, these things shouldn't just happen, but in the world of myth, they are perfectly natural. They are synchronistic events, showing the hero that the universe is somehow involved in their journey, guiding them towards their destiny. This is because myths, like dreams, are rich with symbolism, which is the language of the unconscious. Symbols are everywhere, not just in old stories, but in our everyday lives. A red rose doesn't just mean a flower, it means love. A dove isn't just a bird, it means peace. A light bulb isn't just glass and wire, it means an idea. We understand these deeper meanings without even thinking about it. These symbols connect us to something bigger than just the thing itself. They tap into those ancient patterns, those archetypes that live in our collective unconscious. When we see a symbol, it often brings up feelings and ideas that are much larger than the symbol itself. A journey through a dark tunnel in a movie might make us feel fear, but also hope for the light at the end, tapping into the archetype of transformation. A winding river in a painting might remind us of the flow of life, with all its twists and turns. These symbols are like little windows into that deeper world of meaning. They are the language that the collective unconscious uses to speak to us, both in our dreams and in the synchronistic events that appear in our waking lives. By learning to see these symbols, we start to understand the messages the universe is constantly sending our way. Myths and dreams are filled with symbolism, the language of the unconscious, which reveals synchronistic events guiding heroes on their journeys and speaking to deeper truths. By learning to see these symbols, we start to understand the messages the universe is constantly sending our way. But how do these messages, these synchronous events, actually shape our lives? The truth is, these meaningful coincidences are quietly guiding our choices and shaping our relationships all the time, even when we don't fully realize it. Think about the big decisions you've made. Was there ever a moment when a strange encounter, a book you randomly picked up, or a phrase you overheard seemed to perfectly confirm a path you were thinking of taking? Or maybe it gently nudged you in a completely new direction? Perhaps you were feeling lost in your career, and then, out of nowhere, an old contact calls with an unexpected job offer that feels perfectly aligned with your unspoken desires. Or you're looking for a partner, and you keep running into the same person in different, unlikely places, feeling a growing sense of destiny. These aren't just random occurrences. They are the subtle ways that synchronicity works, like an invisible hand gently pushing you along, or a mirror reflecting back what your soul already knows. They can confirm a path, challenge a belief, or introduce you to someone who will become incredibly important. These meaningful coincidences act like an invisible force, confirming paths, challenging beliefs, or introducing significant people, reflecting deeper truths about our journey. To truly understand and welcome synchronicity into our lives, we must be willing to do something that can feel very difficult: let go of strict logic. Our minds are so used to needing a clear because. If something happens, we want to know the direct cause. But synchronicity doesn't work that way. It doesn't follow a straight line of cause and effect. It's more like a ripple in a pond, where one stone drops here and another over there, and yet the ripples meet in a meaningful way, even though one didn't push the other. Being open to synchronicity means accepting that not everything in life will have a neat, logical explanation. It means being okay with mystery, with things that feel deeply true even if you can't prove them with facts and figures. It's like learning to listen to a different kind of music, one that speaks to your heart and gut, rather than just your thinking brain. It requires a gentle surrender, a willingness to say, "I don't understand how this happened, but I can feel its meaning." This isn't about throwing logic away entirely. Logic is still very useful for many things. But it's about making room for something more, for a wider way of seeing the world that includes the magical and the mysterious. It's about trusting that there's a deeper pattern, an invisible thread, connecting events in ways our everyday minds often miss. This willingness to accept mystery brings us to the very heart of our title: Synchronicity and the Death of Logic. This doesn't mean that logic is bad or useless. Far from it. Logic is a powerful tool. It helps us build houses, send rockets to the moon, and solve everyday problems. We need logic to navigate the physical world and to think clearly. But the death of logic, in this context, refers to the idea that logic is not the only way, or even the best way, to understand everything in life. It's about letting go of the idea that if something isn't logical, it can't be real or important. It's about stepping beyond the limits of cause and effect and opening our minds to other forms of truth. Imagine trying to understand a beautiful piece of music only by looking at the notes on the page. You'd miss the feeling, the emotion, the way it makes your heart sing. Logic is like looking at the notes. Synchronicity is like hearing the music. The death of logic is really the birth of a wider way of knowing, a way that includes intuition, feeling, and the deep, meaningful connections that don't fit into a neat box. It's about understanding that the universe is far more mysterious and interconnected than our logical minds can ever fully grasp, and that there are profound truths that speak to us in whispers, not just loud, clear facts. It's about making space for the magical in the everyday. This wider way of knowing, this space for the magical in the everyday, calls on us to trust something often pushed aside in our logical world, our intuition. Our gut feelings, those sudden flashes of insight, that quiet inner knowing that doesn't come from thinking things through step by step. These are powerful guides. Jung believed that intuition is a direct line to the unconscious, both our personal one and the vast collective unconscious. It's how those archetypes and deeper patterns try to communicate with us, even before logic has a chance to catch up. Have you ever had a strong feeling about someone or a situation, even if you couldn't explain why? That's intuition at work. It's a sense that something is right, or wrong, or important, without needing a list of reasons. Learning to pay attention to these inner whispers is key to recognizing synchronicity. When you feel a strong pull towards something, or a gentle warning against it, these feelings can be just as valid, if not more so, than a purely logical analysis. They are like compass needles, pointing to the hidden currents of meaning that guide our lives. Trusting your intuition isn't about being careless or irrational. It's about honoring a deeper wisdom that resides within you, a wisdom that understands the interconnectedness of things in a way that logic alone cannot. It's about opening yourself to guidance that comes from beyond the everyday, allowing yourself to be led by the subtle dance between your inner world and the outer world. Paying attention to these gut feelings and inner knowing is like learning to read the subtle language of the universe. And this language isn't just spoken in grand, dramatic moments. It's often found in the quiet, everyday events, if we only learn to look closely. Synchronicity isn't always about a golden beetle flying through a window. Sometimes, it's much more subtle, woven into the fabric of our ordinary days. It could be seeing the same symbol appear multiple times in different places, a specific animal, a number, a certain color, just when you're wrestling with a particular question in your life. It might be overhearing a snippet of conversation that perfectly answers a thought you just had. Or perhaps, you're feeling down, and a song comes on the radio with lyrics that speak directly to your heart, offering comfort or a new perspective. These small, seemingly random occurrences can hold deep meaning if we allow ourselves to see them. They are like gentle nudges from that deeper, interconnected realm, reminding us that we are part of something larger. They tell us that our inner world and the outer world are constantly communicating, creating a rich tapestry of meaning that we often overlook in our busy, logical lives. By slowing down, by being present, and by opening our eyes to the symbolic language all around us, we begin to uncover the profound wisdom hidden in the ordinary. It's a practice of mindfulness, of seeing the extraordinary within the commonplace, and understanding that every moment can potentially carry a message from the universe. Synchronicity often manifests in subtle, everyday events, not just dramatic ones, like recurring symbols or timely overheard conversations, offering profound wisdom if we pay close attention. When we begin to recognize these meaningful patterns, something truly wonderful happens. We start to feel a deeper connection to everything around us. The world no longer feels like a random collection of disconnected events and separate people. Instead, it starts to feel like a living, breathing tapestry, where every thread is connected. You realize that your inner thoughts and feelings aren't just isolated inside your head, they are somehow in conversation with the outer world. This can bring a powerful sense of belonging and meaning. Imagine walking through a forest. If you only see individual trees, it's just a bunch of wood. But if you see the roots intertwined beneath the ground, the way the sunlight filters through the leaves, the sounds of the animals, the scent of the earth, then you feel part of the whole living system. Recognizing synchronicity is like seeing the forest for what it truly is, a deeply connected, intelligent system. You begin to feel less alone, less adrift. You understand that there's an invisible dance happening, and you are a vital part of it. This deeper connection can bring a profound sense of peace, knowing that even in moments of uncertainty, there's a larger, benevolent force at play, guiding and communicating with you through the beautiful language of meaningful coincidences. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, and makes life feel like a grand, unfolding story you are actively participating in. This deeper connection can bring a profound sense of peace, knowing that even in moments of uncertainty, there's a larger, benevolent force at play, guiding and communicating with you through the beautiful language of meaningful coincidences. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, and makes life feel like a grand, unfolding story you are actively participating in. Now, take a quiet moment. Let your mind drift back through your own life. Can you remember times when something happened that just felt right, even if it didn't make logical sense? Maybe it was a chance encounter that led to a lifelong friendship, or a book that seemed to magically appear just when you needed its wisdom most. Perhaps a song played at the exact moment you were thinking of a lost loved one, bringing comfort you didn't know you needed. These are not just happy accidents. These are your own moments of synchronicity. They are the universe's way of winking at you, of showing you that there's more to life than meets the eye, more than simple cause and effect. Think about how those moments felt. What impact did they have on your path? Did they offer comfort, or a push in a new direction? Did they confirm a deep inner knowing you already had? There is wisdom in these personal stories, and by recalling them, you begin to see the subtle, beautiful patterns that have always been at play in your own unique journey. There is wisdom in these personal stories, and by recalling them, you begin to see the subtle, beautiful patterns that have always been at play in your own unique journey. This is why understanding synchronicity isn't just about learning a new idea, it's a deep journey into understanding yourself. When Jung spoke of the unconscious, he wasn't talking about something distant or separate from you. He was talking about the deepest, truest parts of who you are, the parts that hold your hidden talents, your deepest fears, your true desires, and the wisdom of all humanity. Synchronistic events, along with dreams and symbols, are like mirrors reflecting these deeper parts of yourself back to you. They show you what you're truly feeling, what you need to pay attention to, or what path you are meant to walk. If you keep seeing symbols of change, perhaps your inner self is telling you it's time for something new. If you encounter someone who mirrors a forgotten dream, maybe it's a call to rekindle that passion. It's a dialogue between your conscious self, the person you think you are, and your unconscious self, the whole person you truly are. By paying attention to these meaningful coincidences, you are not just observing the world, you are exploring the landscape of your own soul. You are becoming more aware of your own inner workings, your connection to the larger human story, and your unique purpose. It's a journey of self-discovery, guided by the profound wisdom that lies within and all around you. It's a journey of self-discovery, guided by the profound wisdom that lies within and all around you. So, how can you begin to invite more of this wisdom into your life? The first step is simple: start to observe. Begin today, and every day, by paying a little more attention to the world around you, and to your own inner world. Notice the small things. Do you keep seeing a particular bird or animal that catches your eye? Is there a certain phrase or word that seems to pop up in conversations, in books, or on signs more than once? Are you thinking about a specific problem, and then, a seemingly random event gives you a fresh idea or a strange clue? Keep a small notebook, or even just make a mental note of these moments. Don't try to force meaning onto them at first. Just notice. Like a detective, simply gather the clues. The more you open your awareness, the more you'll begin to see patterns emerge. You might be surprised at how often the universe is trying to get your attention, how often it's speaking in symbols and meaningful coincidences. This isn't about looking for magic tricks. It's about tuning into a deeper channel of communication that has always been there, just beneath the surface of everyday life. It's an invitation to become a more active participant in the unfolding mystery of your own existence. It's an invitation to become a more active participant in the unfolding mystery of your own existence. So, as we close our time together, consider this: if the universe is constantly communicating with us, weaving patterns of meaning into our lives through dreams, symbols, and synchronous events, what hidden order might be waiting for you to discover? What profound messages are you ready to hear, not just from the world outside, but from the deep, wise core of your own being? The death of logic is not an end, but a doorway. It is an invitation to step into a richer, more mysterious reality, where the inner and outer worlds dance in perfect harmony. It asks us to open our hearts and minds to a wisdom that is older than words, deeper than reason, and more connected than we ever dared to imagine. Look within, and look around. The universe is speaking. Are you listening?